welcome everybody to this session of Digital Marketing Essentials. This is more of a digital marketing kind of a preview, if you want to call it course preview, or a demo class, if you want to call it that. We are going to go ahead and cover a few things here. I'd like all of us to have a chat, maybe discuss a few things, and then leave the session with the basic knowledge of a few things such as pay-per-click campaigns, and then also social media campaigns, right? So let's kick it off. I'll always like to ask a question when we start. What is the biggest challenge an online business faces, right? What do you think? And folks who are currently on the call, if you don't mind, you can come off mute and have it, talk with me, or you can go ahead and put your answers in the chat box like Jayashree did. So what's the biggest challenge an online business faces? Pick one of the three. Well, sales, Jayashree says. Jayashree, you want to pick something that we have lined up here? Oh, not getting genuine leads. Very cool, Amar. Very nice. Very nice. Anything that you want to pick from what we have listed here? Well, I know Aram sneaked in a nice one, their last one, good breakfast in the morning. Sometimes it does happen, doesn't it? The only thing you need is something good to eat, and then can kick off the day. Yeah, but let's eliminate C right now. I got a few answers here. It says online visibility. That is actually the correct answer. So, well, in general, it's very, very difficult to be visible or make yourself visible in a space where there are thousands of players, right? It could be any product that you're launching, food industry, plastics, retail. It could be that you're wanting to become a digital marketing freelancer yourself and you're launching your own profile. The biggest issue would be getting people to recognize you, getting people to know you, getting them to pick up the phone and call you and things like that. So visibility is the right answer there. And now, of course, logically, what would be the way we can solve it? Please continue putting it in the chat window. I like the interaction that's happening in this group. Amar, Jayashree, everybody else, please go ahead and tell me, how would you solve this? I like the first choice, by requesting Google's. Hey, Google, can you solve this for us? Well, they can, but we have to work through some of those specific ideas as well. So, right. Any ideas there? How do we solve this? How do we solve the problem of not having enough online visibility? Well, let's see. By asking ChatGPT, yeah, that's one way, but it won't solve it. It will give you a bunch of text which you have to read and understand, and you still will end up with the same problem that you had in the morning. By asking your audience to pay for the content, yeah, that may not solve the problem, but create a problem. Well, we said requesting Google, that's fairly okay, but I think by initiating pay-per-click campaigns seems like the right answer. And I think that's the right answer there. So pay-per-click campaigns can put you on the map very quickly, right? And it's exactly what it says, pay-per-click, right? So the more people are willing to pay, for that specific service, the more they are searching for it, the more they are going to, want to pick up the phone and call you or look up on the maps or whatever. So that's how PPC is defined, as you see on the screen there. So when we say pay-per-click, who is paying per click? Any answers there? Anybody wants to take a guess? Pay-per-click. So who's going to pay per click? I have to pay, or customer pays, Google pays, who pays? Somebody wants to give it a shot? Take a guess.
We will pay who are running the ads. Right?
Say that again.
The company will pay who are running the ads.
Excellent, fabulous answer there. Yes, the person who wants the visibility will have to pay for it, right? And it's fantastic answer. The company who wants it, the person who wants it, they'll have to pay for it. It's the same model. What has changed here then? The only thing that has changed here is the fact that unless the customer, the target customer, target audience clicks on the ad, you will not be charged by Google, right? And that's what it says. So I don't want to read this out. I'm sure you can read this out by yourself. But when if you read the second sentence, it says it is a method to drive traffic to websites and increase visibility on search engine result pages. So if you were to leave it to God and luck and organic results, maybe your website will be listed, or your service will be listed on the 10th page of Google, and not a lot of us will visit more than 1 or 2 pages. But with the pay-per-click campaign, what's going to happen now is, if you have the right landing pages, if you have the right keywords included in your post, and if you have the right engagement techniques, now what you can do is you will be able to become visible on the first page itself, right? And that is going to end up being very, very advantageous to you, because, well, people will look through organic results, but then when you really need a service, people end up clicking on what's available in the first few lines of Google, and they are going to end up reaching your business, and that way it's very, very advantageous, right? So we have defined PPC, or pay-per-click campaign. We defined that pay-per-click campaign is usually created because of low visibility. One, it is also paid for by the person who is advertising. So if I am the person who wants my business to move forward, make money, I'll have to pay for the clicks. Unless the customer clicks, we will not be charged. And the cool part is that you get to have different versions of the same ad. So for example, you have one company, but you have 6 different ads going into the market based on how people like to read and things like that, what the words they like. So these are the 5 pillars of success in PPC. So if you want to have a successful pay-per-click campaign, you have to make sure that you have very clearly defined purpose. What is the purpose? Is the purpose to make the customer call you? Is the purpose to make the customer come to your place? Have a footfall? Is the person going to click on something and then hit the buy now button? What is the purpose? Have to be very clear. If you start a PPC campaign without knowing what the customer is going to be doing, what action they have to do, then it is going to be unsuccessful, because people will click, you will be charged, but nothing will happen. No sales, no visits, no phone calls, right? You'll also need to be very sure about what are some of the keywords that customers are using for the specific business type. So if you are selling plastics, or you're offering some kind of a retail food business, or you are a digital marketing freelancer who is offering services like SEO and social media marketing, then you will have to be very, very clear on what the keywords are. You'll have to bid for them. That's the next one, bid. And then ad creation itself. If you have noticed, the ads that become visible on Google whenever we search, on the right hand side, and right there in the first 6 or 7 columns and rows, that is the ad which has been written by a professional digital marketer, copywriter sometimes, who will measure every single word. Of course, there is also a tool which we will share a link with you at the end of this, which can help you do that ad creation. And then finally, if I have 3 or 4 different ads in the market, which ad is doing well? Sometimes what I've noticed is, if an ad contains the word YOU, like, how will this course change your life? Or how will you be able to take an advantage from this course? Or how will you benefit from my marketing campaigns? any of these words or sentences that contains you in it is clicked more than a general sentence. Somehow people connect with the word you there. So monitoring and optimization is just that. So we have to make sure which are the ads that are running well. We have to replicate them. We have to use the right keywords in the ad. We have to make sure the landing pages are very correct, and then we have to make sure that the customer funnel, in other words, what is the customer supposed to do? Okay, click on the ad, then what happens? Does the ad take them to a phone number? Does it take them to a website where there is a buy now button from where they can buy something on a discount? What is it that the customer needs to do as an action based on this ad is something that we need to vision. And these are some of the things that we will be doing in our class at MA Academy, where we will be actually thinking about the end result before we are going to engineer the entire campaign. So it's like saying, how do I want to be successful? And then saying, okay, what are the steps that I need to take in order to reach that success, right? And those are the 5 pillars of success. Moving forward, I think we will take a look at what are some of the social media trends that we are seeing. If you notice, we have on the y-axis average engagement rating, which means what are some of the things that people are glued to, and on the x-axis you are seeing that what kind of evolution per month it is, and with an year-on-year increase. If you notice, in fact, it's an exponential increase. If you notice, Instagram engagement rate per post, if you have the if you compare the video and the image one, from 2019 all the way up to late October 2020, see the change in trends we have there, right? Which is very, very clearly showing us that this type of a engagement technique or this type of a campaign is going to be successful, because that's where everybody is. That's where everybody is looking at the content, and a relevant ad made well with the right trending music, with the right hashtags, will definitely take off, right? And that's not something that I'm telling you, or that's not something that you have to convince yourself about. It is something that the data is telling us, right? And that is very convincing to me. Okay, let's move forward and see what are some of the social media elements that are needed for a good Instagram campaign, right? And Instagram campaign sometimes simply means that you have to be a part of the platform, possibly day in and day out, understand the trends. You can't just create something and it won't fly just because it looks good. So enhance the key elements here. So the quality of the content. So what I've noticed is any video that has been shot on iPhone 11, 12, way of using the lens has a higher engagement possibility. So people like to watch good quality content. So, and it really makes a difference, because the same exact, maybe a dance or maybe a talk or maybe a fun thing which has been captured in 2 different cameras, when it's in a high quality image, it really makes people continue watching rather than just swiping it away, right? So it needs to be very, very clear what is the content type. So hence the hashtag strategy is very, very important. This is something that we do a big activity on at the academy when we are doing a wrap up project on Instagram, where we are where we list out a bunch of hashtags. We attempt to ensure that all the hashtags that have been used for the specific areas are relevant in nature. And we also experiment how hashtags are actually impacting the algorithm when it is serving specific video types to a specific user type, right? So those are some things that are really, really interesting projects that we handle at the academy. Engagement, what is it that the users are trying to see nowadays? It's a very, very dynamic field when it comes to Instagram. Things are changing this this afternoon it's completely something else. Tomorrow the trending music is something else, and this Sunday people are absolutely interested in watching a very different type of a edit or a movie type or a video type, right? So engagement is not something like what it was 5 years ago, where we had a standard definition. Today we have to monitor the platform very very closely in order to understand how the engagement will happen. And the good news here is Instagram provides very very detailed analytics and insights from the inside. So for example, if you put a ad on Instagram, if you boost it, if you go ahead and run the ad, it is going to show that ad in different feeds, right? It is going to also tell you how long people looked at that ad. Did they interact with it? Did they move it around? Did they read it multiple times? Did they click something on there? How long did they spend reading something in it? How long did they look at an image? What did they touch? What did they tap? All of that is provided by Instagram. And that is what we call as analytics and insights, which are going to help you design your next ad better, right? And that is super important when it comes to attempting to create an Insta or a Facebook campaign, where video content is great, but then we also need to understand what is the consumer actually wanting to see, what kind of details they'd like to see, and what pictures and what music and what hashtags are trending at this point in order for us to use those in our campaigns. All right. Moving forward, one of the important strategies that we use at MA Academy is to attempt to provide you with a really good prompt or a really good problem statement, so that you are able to practice what you've learned. So in this case, I'll read this prompt out for you. A, B, C, and D options that are available. And let's see, answer wants to start an agency and attract new clients in that city. What is a key factor to consider when launching a social media PPC campaign, right? And that is the problem statement. So what's going on here? Does somebody want to jump in and explain to me in a really brief sentence, what is the problem statement telling us? Amer, Jayashree, somebody else. I'm not able to see who else has joined the call, but folks, jump in. Let's have a quick debrief on what is the problem statement here. So I'll just kick it off, and I'm sure that you have ideas, and you can chime in as I kick this off, and let's just see if we can understand a little bit of the prompt itself here. Basically, it's a person like yourself who probably has a mainstream job, and also is wanting to on the side attempt to launch their own like digital marketing freelancing business, right? I mean, that's what folks do a lot. I mean, as far as I have noticed, a lot of people handle 2 or 3 different accounts by themselves, of different stores and different companies. They handle it, and they also have a mainstream job, which is a part of the digital marketing profile in a company. So if you're starting your own digital marketing freelancing business, how are you going to attract people? What is the key factor to consider when launching a social media and a PPC campaign? So we just saw that we defined what is a pay-per-click campaign, and we also looked at what is a social media campaign. So what is it that we will consider? So let's go through the answer choices real quick. So conducting a thorough market research and identifying the target audience and competitors. This is definitely a must, right? Building a comprehensive keyword strategy and optimizing landing pages for conversions. Absolutely. Implementing effective and targeting techniques and utilizing remarketing strategies. I am not sure about this one. And developing a strong content marketing plan and leveraging social media influences. So if you are planning to make me think, and that's sometimes the goal, and if you're planning to make folks think, you have achieved it. I do completely understand that the best answer out of this is probably the keyword strategy. Okay, so I really like the fact that we are able to go through the questions, go through the answer choices, and understand what are some of the things that are required in order to run a good PPC campaign, but then not necessarily in this order, right? And that's how we define it. So building a comprehensive keyword strategy and optimizing landing pages for conversions, right? And that is very important because you need to get leads. You need to be able to have folks call you and reach out to you before you do anything else, right? So good one there. So if you guys do have any questions about the program, about the curriculum, about the outcomes of this program, or you have specific questions about how this class was conducted, how future classes are going to be conducted, um, please voice out. Please put it in the chat window or go ahead and ask me, and I will be able to answer what I can. If this is related to specific things, such as the commercials and other stuff, I will redirect it to the right people so that you can get an answer. Regardless, I think you will be able to get your answers here. So really happy to be here and do this demo class, and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. And goodbye to everybody. Take care. Have a good weekend as well.
Thank you, Subha.